So it's the middle of the night. Police officers in Columbus are dealing with a man walking away from them, yelling at them, refusing to stop.
He falls, then tries to get up, and then an officer forces him down on the ground and arrests him. The man has been bleeding. Police call an ambulance and responders treat him for his cuts.
After all of that, officers are walking him to a patrol car. Then this happens.
Dude, hey, Jalen. Bear. Play with me, bro. Come on, dude. I ain't that dude.
You just hit me, bro.
Bear.
I ain't playing with you, bro.
Bear.
Man, y'all better get this dude for a hurt, bro. You just hit a police officer. You just hit a police officer, bro.
36-240.
You just hit a police officer, bro. What's up?
What's wrong with you? What's up?
What's up, nigga?
Man,
Your job, dude. I don't give a about none of this
Go to
on
your
me.
car.
Stop, man. Stop
To
pushing
your
on me,
car.
Cortez.
To your car.
What up?
To your
What's
car.
up, bro?
To
Write me up. Y'all take
Here.
me out there if y'all want to.
What you just witnessed happened on March 19th on Waverly Ferry Road.
WTVA 9 News got this video from the city of Columbus through a public records request. Members of the city council also got that and videos from the body cameras of the other police officers there that night. So just what exactly did we see here?
The handcuffed man uses the N-word with the officer before the officer shoves him to the ground. The edited body cam video I listened to this afternoon, you can hear the man saying the N-word multiple times as well as multiple obscenities.
That officer, his name Jalen Berry, obviously lost his cool. And you can see he is really wound up, fed up with the man revealed on the video by the city gave us as George Anthony Beard Jr. Another officer could be heard on this video telling Officer Berry to go to his car in an effort to calm him down. Officer Berry responded in part by telling officers to, quote, write me up.
The Columbus City Council decided Tuesday evening what punishment the officer should get for his actions. The council suspended Officer Berry immediately for 3 days without pay. He must also undergo training again on how to calm situations like this. City spokesman Joe Dillon told us as for the man arrested, George Beard Jr., he was charged with disorderly conduct.
Today was the second severe weather threat in the last couple of days. So where do we stand as of now?
Well, we'll find out shortly from WTVA Chief Meteorologist Matt Laubhahn. He's been on this all afternoon long, and Matt, I'm hoping that you're going to tell us things have calmed down.
Yes, things absolutely have. Thankfully, we've kind of dodged the worst of this the last couple of times, yesterday and today. Still have a couple strong thunderstorms, including one that was just a severe thunderstorm just outside the area canceled in the last few minutes. But our last county, our only county that was in this severe thunderstorm watch, Pickens County, canceled just before the beginning of this broadcast here. So we are done as far as that is concerned this evening. Our hour-by-hour forecast now turns its attention toward drier and cooler weather. Cloud cover, that will continue to kind of stick around the next few hours here, but I think we clear out enough to get temperatures back into the mid-40s by tomorrow morning. One of the things that we are tracking in more detail here in just a minute, Craig and Emily, is enough of a cool down that we could be dealing with near freezing temperatures. We'll tell you when that's most likely to be expected. And the rain chances are completely gone this week, but at least there's no storms. We'll tell you when those other rain chances could get involved ahead.
All right, Matt, thanks so much. A man from Tupelo is in the Lee County Jail. This after sheriff's investigators say he kidnapped a woman and drove her across North Mississippi. The sheriff's department got a call from Oxford police about the crime. The woman told officers a man assaulted and forced her into a vehicle and drove her from County Road 753 in Tupelo to Oxford. The victim later identified this man, Sheldon Mitch McGregor, as the suspect. A concerned Oxford citizen picked her up, took her to the Oxford Police Department after she got away from that vehicle. Lee County deputies later arrested McGregor. He is in jail. A judge has already set his bond at $750,000.
New information tonight. Troopers identified the person killed in a recent Lowndes County wreck involving a motorcycle and a couple of pickup trucks. That wreck happened about 6:30 on Highway 50 East at Hutcherson Road in Lowndes County. That is near the Alabama state line. Staff Sergeant Derek Beckham with the Mississippi Highway Patrol identified the driver as 24-year-old Jimmy Hanley of Columbus. Beckham says Hanley, who was driving in the west lane, tried passing a truck that was waiting to make a right turn. Troopers say Hanley crashed into the back of a waiting truck. Then a truck heading east on the highway crashed into the motorcycle head-on. Beckham says Hanley died at the scene. No one else was hurt.
He's a hero. That's what folks are calling a boy in Lafayette County after he woke up and saved his entire family from a fire. Firefighters Tuesday morning went to a home on Deer Run North after hearing about a house full of smoke. They saw fire on the first and second floors when they showed up. 9 people were in the home when that fire was burning, 4 of them children. The homeowner's 10-year-old son woke up to the smell of smoke that told his parents. Everyone got out of that home okay. A firefighter and another person living there in that home did suffer minor injuries, but no one else was hurt. Firefighters are still looking into the cause of that fire.
An investigation's underway into a jail death in Pickens County, Alabama. Samuel Bird of Hamilton died in the jail on April 3rd. The county asked for an autopsy. The Alabama Bureau of Investigation is handling the case. They don't suspect any foul play. This is the second death investigation at the Pickens County Jail since December.
Opting out, Pontotoc says no to medical marijuana for the city. That, according to the Pontotoc Progress newspaper. You may remember county supervisors voted 3-2 concerning that, but Pontotoc Mayor Bob Peebles says that the city's decision to opt out does not permanently shut the door on medical marijuana. State lawmakers passed medical marijuana legislation allowing people with certain medical conditions to get certified by a licensed doctor, nurse practitioner, or optometrist to get medical cannabis. So keep this in mind. If a county or city, if their leaders vote to opt out of medical marijuana, the folks who live there have the opportunity to collect signatures on a petition, force a referendum to allow the public to vote medical marijuana back in. Meanwhile, another local community opted out of the medical marijuana program. This one is in Ecru, where aldermen met last night and made that decision. That decision by cities and counties whether to opt in or opt out, that runs until May 3rd. Also, as we just told you, supervisors in Pontotoc County opted out of medical marijuana.
A local fire department's hard work was recently recognized with a better ISO rating. The Nettleton Fire Department's ISO rating recently went from a 7 down to a 6. This may all sound really confusing, but all you really need to know is the lower the rating, the better the fire department. The insurance service offices rate fire departments based on performance and capability to determine property insurance costs. The Nettleton mayor says the rating's a reflection of all of the hard work done by the department, which Nettleton Fire Captain Thomas Moody says no matter the rating, his job is about keeping his community safe.
All our guys are committed. They work diligently at this, and it's a good brotherhood out here for these guys.
All of our guys and ladies goes home at the end of the day. That is our main goal. Helping somebody else is the goal that we have, saving property and lives. It means the world to me, and not only to me, but to the brothers and sisters here on the department as well.
Different categories like training and equipment, water supply, communication with 911, and community risk reduction are all factors in that rating. Time for a little spring cleaning. While you're going through your cabinets, getting rid of things, just cluttering up the house, pay some extra attention to your medicine cabinet. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is hosting DEA Drug Take Back Day. You can bring your prescriptions or over-the-counter medicine that you don't need, want, or maybe they've expired, and properly get rid of it. It'll happen April 29th at 9 in the morning. It'll go until 2. You can bring them to the Lee County Sheriff's Office.
The Columbus Fire Chief will soon say goodbye to the department after serving in that job for more than 3 decades. Fire Chief Martin Andrews spent 35 years as a firefighter, starting as a firefighter and then climbed his way up the ranks to chief in 2014, which he says was always his goal. He adds saving people has always been his calling, even as a child. Through the years, Andrews witnessed growth in the Columbus Fire Department from technology, the use of equipment, and in his mind, most importantly, hard work. With that success, he's ready to slow down and enjoy the next chapter of his life.
And that's all that I ever wanted to do, was be a firefighter and help save lives and make our community better and safer for everyone.
Assistant Fire Chief Dwayne Hughes will now serve as interim chief until the city can find a replacement. Family and friends will soon see graduates walk the stage like normal at the W. You'll get a live look at what's ahead at MUW momentarily.
And he's run the Monroe County School District for several years, but now he's saying goodbye. That and much more as the News at 6 continues.
I don't think that is right. Let me,
Oh no.
I'm guessing fire chief. That may have been a bad guess. Okay.
You would think it would be fire chief.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Let me Dwayne Hughes. Well, we'll find out.
I hope my battery lasts. Okay, I got 34 minutes left.
Yep. At least according to LinkedIn.
New at 6. It's been 2 years since the Mississippi University for Women had an in-person homecoming, and this year they are so excited to have it back.
WTV's Kendra Malloy has been speaking to folks at the W about the upcoming festivities. She joined us live in Columbus with what they had to say.
Yes, there will be a huge celebration here this weekend as students and alumni get ready for homecoming. They are ready to get it started. Homecoming. It's a time for alumni to revisit campus and fellowship with current students. Carolyn Williams is a junior at the university, and this will be her first homecoming experience.
And I'm excited to meet new people and hear stories about the W because I've heard a couple and I kind of want to hear a few secret ones confirmed.
This is something everyone here has been waiting for since 2020. The university has 360 alumni visiting for homecoming this year.
And let current students see these people come back and tell their stories. You know, what was their W experience like? Because it was really different.
This return starts tomorrow and will go through Saturday with different events each day, including musical performances, 3 Golden Girl classes, and a new event called the Magnolia Mingle.
We would welcome folks to come to campus and interact with us and just enjoy being with us while we celebrate a lot of different alums.
For a complete schedule for the 2022 homecoming, you can visit WTVA.com. Live in Columbus, Kendra Malloy, WTVA 9 News.
It is 6:15 as we look out of our MDOT traffic cam on Highway 92 West at Highway 45. You can see that MDOT camera kind of bouncing around today. The wind's picking up this afternoon. Our chief meteorologist, Matt Lawpon, he'll join us in 2 minutes with a complete look at the WTVA Severe Weather Authority forecast. Plus, it's coming back, but there's some new rules you're going to have to follow at this year's Amory Railroad Festival. We'll tell you all about that coming up as WTVA 9 News at 6 continues.
It's dawned on me. I
Not
go out
sure.
of town during Railroad Festival.
Yeah, where was that MDOT at?
Not by design necessarily. Okay. Okay. Steve Rogers on the beach. I think his brother got married.
Oh, Steve.
Are you serious? He's
Yes.
the one who hired you?
Steve hired her.
No.
Oh, I remember it.
Nice.
Hey, give him credit for realizing he had to do it, though.
Oh, Steve.
And the rest is history.
Now, your WTVA Severe Weather Authority forecast with Chief Meteorologist Matt Laubach.
Hopefully we could all catch a breather after the 2 severe weather threats this week.
Neither one, which thankfully materialized, just a little bit off. And that's just kind of a reminder. We always say this when we do the school talks. It is a delicate recipe that has an indelicate result when you start talking about severe thunderstorms. If anything's just a little bit off, you don't get them. And thankfully, the last couple of days, at least for us, not for others, but for us, that recipe has been a little bit off. And in the wake of the last lifting mechanism, the front that moved through the area, temperatures have cooled off substantially. You're 57 right now in the Oxford area. This is considering some spots hit lower, almost mid-80s today for some high temperatures. Those northwest winds bringing in breezy conditions and drier air. But we don't completely eliminate the rain chances. I think we'll have some that try to return again for tomorrow and Friday, but no storms with that, just sprinkles really, maybe sprinkles plus in some spots. We'll go to about 54 by 9, 51 degrees as we look toward 11. Obviously a few spots a little bit warmer than Oxford is. Many spots still showing up in the 60s and even a few in the 70s at this hour. We're 45 though, kind of unified around the mid 40s for tomorrow morning. 61 by noon. Notice those winds. They are breezy, gusting up in excess of 20 miles per hour a good chunk of the day. High temperatures only mid 60s, about 10 degrees below what we typically expect for this time of the year. But it's the low temperatures that see a bigger drop. By Friday morning, we're back practically to the 40-degree point, and I think we're in the 30s for both your Saturday and Sunday morning. Now, normal this time of year is 49, so we're well below that. We're not to, necessarily last freeze territory, but it's not inconceivable we could be near a freeze for those mornings. So I expect frost for both those days. You want to tune back in over the next couple so we can refine that, but you also could just plan to maybe protect those plants as necessary by then. Here's the front sweeping through, driving the moisture out of you. You can see some of the severe weather associated with that back out there into eastern Alabama, and of course also along that blue line, that front that's moving through the area, now starting to light up a lot more the last hour or so with a couple tornado watches back to the east. Behind this front, it's a fairly substantial drop, still 78 degrees right now in Meridian versus 66 Columbus. 64 degrees in Tupelo, 50s and 60s, a long ways back to the north and west, but there's a lot of really cold air closer to this low pressure center, and that's important because over the next couple of days, the cooler air on the backside of the system continues to funnel in and make sure that while tomorrow's cooler, Friday will be even cooler yet. So this evening, most of those showers out to the east of us, no issue. Still some cloud cover out there at 9 p.m., though we do start clearing a little bit, and that will aid in that drop in temperatures. We expect lows by tomorrow morning back somewhere in the neighborhood of the mid 40s for a lot of us, where the clouds linger just a little longer. We're about 48 for Aliceville and Columbus versus 42 in Ripley, and probably mid 40s out there, the low 40s for Water Valley and Oxford. By around noontime tomorrow, we're in the low 60s. Those winds breezy, and they stay breezy even in the afternoon. You can see sustained up around 14 miles per hour gusts, as high as around 20 to maybe 25 miles per hour for a few locations. So a fairly breezy Thursday on the way. Those high temperatures, as I alluded to, a lot cooler than today. We typically should be about 73. Instead, we'll be 63 in Pontotoc and Water Valley, 64 in Grenada and Houston, about 60 66 for Macon, and Louisville coming in about 66 as well. A couple light showers, not a lot of those around, but a few of those try to rotate in as that cold air aloft associated with this cold core system continues to bring us maybe a few sprinkles tomorrow evening. Not a lot of meaningful moisture coming from those. We just checked the rainfall totals and it's practically nothing. I mean, we show up with zeros in the rain bucket there. Could it be a couple hundredths of an inch of rainfall? Yes. I don't have this register until we get to a tenth of an inch. That's where we typically would say the rainfall is at least somewhat meaningful out there, more than just sprinkles. But those sprinkles, the lighter variety ones, continue into your Friday. You see pre-dawn there up around Ripley and Boonville, 4 a.m., showing some of those around. And I'll show low temperatures by Friday morning, somewhere in the neighborhood of the low 40s, slightly warmer near the Tennessee state line, that cloud cover holding you up, and slightly warmer south just because of the overall pattern dictating as much. But in general, we're going to continue to probably wrap down around a couple of showers as we go throughout even midday into the afternoon time period on your Friday. I think this has a limiting impact on those temperatures. As you look city by city at those 3 p.m. temperatures, notice these are afternoon temperatures at about where low temperatures should be for this time of year. Upper 40s, that 3 p.m. temperature there on Friday morning for Corinth and Iuka, about 52 for Houston. And when you factor in the wind gusts, of course, that wind chill temperature impacted by those, it's going to be breezy, and so we expect those feels like temperatures low 40s by Friday afternoon. Very un-April-like, right? As we look toward your weekend morning, again, Saturday morning, we're probably going to be mid-30s out there for low temperatures, close to the freezing point. A combination of maybe some lingering wind and a few of those clouds kind of sticking around, Craig, could save us from what are near freezing temperatures. And next week, rain chances return as early as Monday, but we think it's probably more like Wednesday before the severe weather chances could return. Not a slam dunk, not a guarantee at this point, but something we're certainly watching very closely on updates tonight at 9 and 10 o'clock on WTVA 9 News.
Good deal, Matt. Thanks so much. If you're going to Amory's Railroad Festival, make sure you don't bring a couple of things or you'll have to leave. Find out what next in WTVA 9 News at 6. I think tomorrow I'll be at the laundromat washing dog beds. Need to make sure I've got enough change.
Is that one of those things you just don't do at home?
No, Steph does not allow me to put dog beds in our washer.
You probably need one of those big washers though, right? Like one of the larger ones.
Man, I tell you what though, it can be rather expensive in putting those beds in the big washer laundromat. Which at least Amory is finally getting a new laundromat.
Ooh.
But which will replace my trips to Fulton for their 24/7 laundromat.
Okay. I was looking at our dog bed, and on one side, I don't know if he drools or maybe your dogs do this. After my dog eats, he likes to rub his face on the carpet or the rug.
Zoe does that. Does that like in her bed? I don't.
He does that on his bed too, and I'm like, why are you? And so there's just like one side of his bed. Like, I don't know why you do that. So who watches the dogs while you're out of town?
Mallory Johnson.
I know that name. Didn't
she used to work here? Yeah.
Okay.
Mallory Johnston, yeah. She is working at Amory Supply Tractor Supply in Amory.
New at 6, Monroe County Superintendent is saying goodbye. Superintendent Brian Jernigan confirmed his retirement earlier this afternoon. As for a new job, he said he has several opportunities to consider and has not made definitive plans just yet.
The 42nd annual Amory Railroad Festival begins tomorrow. The city expects a lot of folks to show up, especially since it's the first time in 2 years the festival has been held. Everything will return. The food, the music, the car show Organizers told us they are happy with the return. However, there will be some changes for this year's festival. This will be the first time the festival will have happened after the city approved alcohol sales. No animals will be allowed unless they are certified service animals and are clearly marked. Also, no alcoholic beverages will be allowed on public property, such as buildings, sidewalks, streets, of course, Frisco Park. He won last year. Now they're looking for another. How you can enter your child into this year's Gerber Baby Contest. That next at WTVA 9 News at 6. Gotcha. I hear you. Wand away.
Get us some new hires.
Yep. I'm telling you though, this is the worst. And you know what? I didn't think about this until recently.
Can we reprompt the 6:30, please? Yes. Get us some good hires. Good luck.
A Nights Out reporter.
Missing what?
Okay, well, I guess I'll just open this
There
up.
it is. There it is.
Okay.
Somebody, I didn't think about this, but the pandemic, if you think about it, pretty much shut the pipeline off for internships and all that stuff.
Well, I was talking to Pat about this yesterday. Gray is now paying interns.
Well, think
Gray.
about it. We don't do interns anymore.
No.
So
But,
we just pay them part-time.
yeah. But still, I mean, it's... Calling all babies. Gerber is now looking for a baby to be the next face of the company. The company said it's searching for its next chief growing officer and spokesbaby. The job requirements, pretty simple. Applicants can be between 0 and 4 years old, have a playful smile that can light up a room, an irresistible giggle, and undeniably lovable personality. No corporate experience is required for this position. The winner will get $25,000. And for the first time ever, Gerber will match that $25,000 and donate it to the March of Dimes. You can apply right now on Gerber's website. You can also see how many people where you live have applied for the job.
Those qualifications, I'm telling you, that describes me to a T.
It's your face. Lovely.
Right now at 6:30, new information on a bank robbery earlier today. One man now arrested, but he's got a criminal history. We explain. Volunteer firefighters in Nettleton have a new reason to be proud of their work when it comes to keeping others safe. Plus, a local library got some recognition for making its neighborhood more beautiful. News at 6:30 starts right now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WTVA 9 News.
Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us tonight for WTVA 9 News at 6:30. I'm Alyssa Martin. A bank robbery today rattled downtown Tupelo, and now the man wanted for the crime is in custody. His name is Jasper Wagner of Tupelo. That is a look at a photo of him. Police arrested him at a motel in Leeds, Alabama. Here is a look at video from the scene of that robbery in downtown today. Wagner is from Tupelo and lives on West Jackson Street, where police executed a warrant for him. He's also got a criminal history. He's accused of committing several bank robberies in the past in Horn Lake, Mississippi, South Carolina, and North Carolina. This isn't the only bank robbery that's happened in the Lee County area this year. Someone you might remember, this happened January the 7th. This is a look at video from the scene that day. Someone robbed the Bancorp South Bank in Tupelo. Happened right on Highway 145 near McDonald's, also right in the middle of the day. Police Chief Daniel McKinney says the suspect used a gun and demanded money from 3 different tellers. Take a look at these still photos of what the robber looked like back in January. Tonight, he's still on the run. If you happen to know who this is, you're asked to call 911. A Tupelo man is in the Lee County Jail tonight. This after Lee County investigators say he kidnapped a woman and drove her across North Mississippi. The Sheriff's Department got a call from the Oxford Police Department about that crime. The woman told police a man assaulted her, forced her into a vehicle, and drove from County Road 753 in Tupelo to Oxford. The victim later identified this man as the person responsible. His name is Shelton Mitch McGregor. A concerned citizen of Oxford picked the woman up, took her to the Oxford Police Department after she was able to escape the vehicle. Lee County deputies later that day nabbed McGregor. He sits in jail on a $750,000 bond. New information tonight. State troopers have now identified the person killed in a recent wreck in Lowndes County. It involved a motorcycle and a few pickup trucks. The wreck happened around 6:30 on Highway 50 East at Hutcherson Road in Lowndes County. That's near the Alabama state line. Staff Sergeant Derek Beckham with the Mississippi Highway Patrol identified the driver as 24-year-old Jimmy Handley of Columbus. Beckham says Handley, who was driving in the west lane, tried passing a truck that was waiting to make a right turn. Troopers say Handley crashed into the rear of the truck waiting, then a truck driving east on the highway crashed into Handley's motorcycle head-on. Beckham says Handley died at the scene. No one else was hurt. He is a hero. That's what people are calling a Lafayette County boy after he woke up and saved his entire family from a fire. Firefighters Tuesday morning went to a home on Deer Run North just after hearing about a house full of smoke. They saw fire in the first and second floors, fire on the first and second floors when they got there. 9 people were home at the time of the fire, 4 of them being kids. The homeowner's 10-year-old son woke up to the smell of smoke and told his parents. Thankfully, everyone made it out okay. A firefighter and another person living there did happen to receive minor injuries, but luckily no one else was hurt. Firefighters are still looking into the cause of that fire. An investigation is underway into a jail death in Pickens County, Alabama. Samuel Bird of Hamilton, Alabama died in the jail on April 3rd. The county asked for an autopsy. The Alabama Bureau of Investigation is handling that case. No foul play is expected. This is now the second death investigation at the Pickens County Jail since December. Opting out. Pontotoc is saying no when it comes to medical marijuana for the city. That's according to the Pontotoc Progress. The Board of Supervisors voted 3-2 on the issue. The mayor, Bob Peoples, said their decision to opt out does not permanently close the issue. State lawmakers passed the medical marijuana legislation, allowing people with certain medical conditions to get certified by a licensed physician, nurse practitioner, or optometrist to receive medical cannabis. If a county or city votes to opt out, residents will be allowed to collect signatures and petition for a referendum to opt back in to the program. Meanwhile, another North Mississippi community also opted out of the medical marijuana business. The Board of Aldermen in Ecru and Pontotoc County made the decision at its meeting just last night. Cities and counties in Mississippi have until May the 3rd to decide whether to opt out or not of allowing medical marijuana. Supervisors also decided against medical marijuana, as we just mentioned, in Pontotoc County. A local fire department's hard work was recently recognized with a better fire rating. The Nettleton Fire Department's fire rating recently went from a 7 down to a 6. Might be a little confusing. All you need to know is that the lower rating, the better the department. The Insurance Services Office rates fire departments based on their performance and capability to determine property insurance costs. Nettleton's Mayor Philip Balch says the rating is a reflection of the work done by the department, while Nettleton's fire captain Thomas Moody says no matter the rating, his job is about keeping his community safe.
All our guys are committed. They work diligently at this, and it's a good brotherhood out here for these guys.
All of our guys and ladies goes home at the end of the day. That is our main goal. Helping somebody else is the goal that we have, saving property and lives. It means the world to me, and not only to me, but to the brothers and sisters here on the department as well.
Different categories like training and equipment, water supply, communication with 911, and community risk reduction are all factors for that fire rating. It's time for spring cleaning. While you're going through your cabinets, getting rid of things, cluttering up your house, pay extra attention to your medicine cabinet. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is hosting its DEA Drug Take Back Day. You can bring prescription or over-the-counter medicine that you don't want or need and get rid of it properly. It's happening April 29th at 9 in the morning until 2. You can bring them to the Lee County Sheriff's Office. The Columbus Fire Chief will soon say his final goodbyes to the department after serving for over 3 decades. Chief Martin Andrews has spent the last 35 years as a firefighter. He started as a firefighter and became chief in 2014. That was always his goal. He says saving people has always been his calling, even as a child. Over the years, Andrews witnessed growth in the department from technology, use of equipment, and most importantly, hard work. With that success, he's now ready to slow down and enjoy the next chapter in his life.
And that's all that I ever wanted to do, was be a firefighter and help save lives and make our community better and safer for everyone.
Assistant Chief Dwayne Hughes was appointed as the interim chief until the city can find a replacement. Lawmakers are heading home today after ending the 2022 legislative session last night. Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosemann calls it a successful session. Lawmakers were able to pass a medical marijuana plan. They also passed a teacher pay raise and a major tax cut. Both are considered big accomplishments. Teachers may not be the only ones to get a pay raise during this legislative session. If Governor Reeves signs House Bill 1426, some of the state's top elected leaders will also see a bigger paycheck. Take a look. If signed, the governor's salary increases from $122,000 a year to $160,000. It'll also include pay bumps for the state's attorney, secretary of state, and lieutenant governor. New salaries are recommended by the State Personnel Board based numbers in other states around the region. Alabama lawmakers have until Friday to finish business on a pay increase for Alabama educators. The education budget for the next year carries the largest pay raises in decades for experienced public school teachers. It would fund pay raises of at least 4% for education employees. It also gives teachers with 9 or more experience when it comes to teaching a boost of at least 5% and a 10% raise for teachers with 20 years of experience. Lawmakers are trying to end the session early since it is an election year. It is now 6:40. He is saying goodbye after years of service in the Monroe County School District. We tell you about the superintendent's retirement plans as the news at 6:30 continues.
I will not use it for error. It is for my own personal perusal.
Who's doing this package? Whose package is this? Keandre? No, I need a toss. It's been 2 years since the Mississippi University for Women had an in-person homecoming, and this year they are expected to have it back. WTVA's Keandre Malloy explains.
Homecoming. It's a time for alumni to revisit campus and fellowship with current students. Carolyn Williams is a junior at the university, and this will be her first homecoming experience.
And I'm excited to meet new people and hear stories about the W, because I've heard a couple and I kind of want to hear a few secret ones confirmed.
This is something everyone here has been waiting for since 2020. The university has 360 alumni visiting for homecoming this year.
And let current students see these people come back and tell their stories. You know, what was their W experience like? Because it was really different.
This return starts tomorrow and will go through Saturday with different events each day, including musical performances, 3 Golden Girl classes, and a new event called the Magnolia Mingle.
We would welcome folks to come to campus and interact with us and just enjoy being with us while we celebrate a lot of different alums.
And that was Keandre Malloy reporting. For a complete schedule for the 2022 homecoming celebrations, you can head to WTVA.com. The library in New Albany is getting some recognition for making downtown look better. Local leaders awarded the Union County Library the City Beautification Award. The award recognizes businesses for improvements to appearance, upkeep, and landscaping. The award encourages...
We submitted our pictures, about 34 pictures, and the ladies called last night and said, hey, we're going to give it to you. We're going to give you the Spring Beautification Award. And that is absolutely wonderful, because they couldn't have picked a better place this year. That corner out yonder. Yeah.
This is the Union County Library's first time winning that award. Monroe County's superintendent is saying goodbye. Superintendent Brian Jernigan confirmed his retirement this afternoon. Before taking the top job in 2019, he held the same position for 2 years in the Nettleton School District. As for a new job, Jernigan said he has several opportunities to consider and has not made any definite plans yet. Right now it is 6:45. You are getting a live look in Tupelo. This view is thanks to our MDOT traffic cam. Looks like a nice sunset out there across the area. Some cloud cover hanging around this evening. What can we expect for the rest of our overnight hours? Chief Meteorologist Matt Lobhon joins us with a look at your complete Severe Weather Authority forecast. And listen up, it is spring, which means it's time for some festival fun. Find out when and where you can get involved this week and weekend coming up.
Is it summer yet? The leaves are starting to come out. So I used to hate winter just because you have snow, and I don't really like forecasting snow here. And it was just brown and it got dark like super early. But I kind of like winter now because like we can see through the trees in winter.
Now, your WTVA Severe Weather Authority forecast with Chief Meteorologist Matt Lobhon.
Well, Matt, this week we have talked about the threat for severe weather. It seems like we have come to the end of that threat for the week.
Thankfully, this time around, after 2 weeks where we were right at the bullseye, we knew that we were kind of on the fringes, different directions on where we would end up falling. And luckily, this time around, we fell in the zone that did not see severe weather. And outside in Tupelo this evening, the result of the system that's bringing active weather other places are the dropping temperatures. We're down to 55 degrees as of the latest update in the last couple of minutes here. Northwest winds about 7 miles per hour as relatively drier air continues to settle into our area. So over the next little bit here, back into about 54 to 53 or so over the next couple of hours. Low 50s by 11 and probably 40s for tomorrow morning. Mid 40s out there for a lot of spots, maybe low 40s for some. 61 by noon, 64 tomorrow afternoon. Notice those winds. They are breezier, bringing in that drier air. But they don't just bring that in. I think we wrap around a couple limited rain chances tomorrow and also Friday. But the bigger thing that this brings in, obviously, that drop in temperatures, because tomorrow morning we're mid 40s, but we're down possibly upper 30s for some spots by early Friday morning if we can get some clear skies there. By Saturday and Sunday morning, we're in the 30s. It's just a question of, are we mid 30s? Are we lower 30s? I expect that we could be talking about freezing temperatures, below freezing temperatures for some spots up in Tennessee. Might be pushing it here, but we're close enough. You got to guard things pretty well. 49 is where we typically should be for this time of year, so well below that in the 50s that we had for today. So here's our front moving away from us with the storms, the active weather. Most of the severe weather has been out in the far southeast, Alabama and Georgia so far today. At this point, though, only one tornado warning down there in South Georgia at this point as our front scraping away the moisture behind it. We're mid 30s showing, mid 60s in around North Mississippi, 50s back toward Memphis, and then you'll note 60s all the way back toward around St. Louis. But there's a lot of these blues once you get way to the north. This is the center of that L, what we call a cold core system, a lot of cold air aloft, and so that can force the temperatures down near the surface through cloud cover, through precipitation. I note that because that's in our future possibly as we look toward the latter part of this week. So the showers moving on out of here, no real issues there. We all drop through the 50s over the next few hours and back into the 40s by early tomorrow morning. Those northwest winds, a little bit of a breeze, making that 45-degree temperature there seem like it's in the 30s for a lot of spots tomorrow morning. So I know it was 80s today, a lot of locations. Mid-30s tomorrow morning, not exactly as pleasant, right? You'll need to make sure those kids bundle up with the layers. I mean, this is not extreme. It's not frostbite territory, but it's certainly not warm. As we go through the day, we're 61 degrees by noontime. Those winds remain breezy, and it'll be cooler than it was today for sure, but we're not talking extremely cold. Mid-60s out there with those wind gusts up in excess of 25 to nearly 30 miles per hour for some locations. So a breezy afternoon for some of those stronger wind gusts. In general, though, I think most of the wind speeds really in that 20 to maybe 25 mile per hour range. As we progress into your Thursday night, we have a few showers around. This starts a trend of those isolated showers because of the cold air aloft with that system. We showed the one wrapping down in here. So a few spotty showers, not mounting to much in the way of rainfall there for the late evening hours on your Thursday. We expect even more of those on the way for Friday. We'll start off with a mix of cloud cover and perhaps a few little bits of clearing. Low 40s out there because that blanket insulates us somewhat, the cloud cover. As we go toward around noontime, low 50s for temperatures with some showers showing up from Iuka back toward Boonville, New Albany, Pontotoc, and Water Valley. These remain fairly light as they shift in, but notice they're fairly consistent your Friday afternoon, and they make it to where the feels-like temperatures only get in the low 40s. These are afternoon, by the way, temperatures. Low 40s for what it'll feel like on your Friday, and actual afternoon temperatures might only be upper 40s for some spots, mid-50s kind of at warmest, so not a particularly warm day, right? Those shower chances, again, we're not talking about more than maybe 0.05 of an inch at most, 1/10 of an inch on Friday, but we're putting a 20% on there for those rain chances. As we look towards Saturday and Sunday, we should be dry, cool in the morning, more mild in the afternoon, but then rain chances by next week. Mainly showers with an occasional thunderstorm in that Monday, Tuesday time frame. Alyssa, we expect most of the storms for those days out on the plains, but for us, Wednesday, again, could be a severe weather threat potentially. We're watching and tracking the latest on that, but it's still way too early to nail that one down.
Seems like we are definitely on that once a week storm chance, but also it's been kind of around the Tuesday, Wednesday time period.
Yeah, I mean, it really is like 7 days like clockwork, and luckily this 7 days didn't work out for us.
All right, Matt, you need a break. So it's a good thing it didn't work out this week. Thanks so much. The Railroad Festival is back, but listen up, there are some rules you need to know about. We break those rules and changes down as the news at 6:30 continues.
Break it down now. Let me just see if I can plug this back in and it still works, or if it's just it came I will bet it still works. It's just a matter of it came unsticky and they just set it there. Yep, naturally. Oh, look. Take that on there. Did I not put one on the other one?
Emily just posted Easter candy is better than Halloween candy.
It is.
Oh, get out of here.
It is.
Ew.
So much better.
Ew, David.
Jesus candy is better. Like,
No, you cannot be the pumpkin shaped Reese's.
they're just Reese's shaped like a pumpkin.
And
you get a whole other slew of candy from Easter.
You get more. Yeah, Reese's eggs are good.
Okay, well, see, there you go. You took care of it with.
I didn't say they were better. Peeps are just.
No, Peeps, I don't like Peeps. Peeps are overrated.
The 42nd annual Amory Railroad Festival kicks off this week. The city of Amory is expecting a full crowd. This is the first time in 2 years the city has held the event. It all kicks off tomorrow. Everything will be back to normal. The food vendors, music, and a car show. Organizers say they are happy with the return, but you will see some changes for this year's festival. This is the first time the festival has happened after the city recently approved alcohol in the city limits. No animals will be allowed unless they're certified service animals and are clearly marked. No alcoholic beverages on public property. That includes buildings, sidewalks, streets, parks, and more. Well, get your Easter baskets ready. Tupelo Christian Preparatory School is hosting its first Easter egg hunt with thousands of eggs to be found. It's happening Saturday, April the 16th. All the fun will take place on the football field. It's open to kids ages 1 to 10. There will be 4,000 eggs to be hunted. Snow cones, the Easter Bunny making an appearance as well. It all kicks off that Saturday at 3 o'clock. If you head over to Chickasaw County, Trace Regional Health System in Houston is also getting ready for Easter as well. Organizers there are hosting an Easter egg hunt. This one is Friday, April the 15th. It's from noon until 2 o'clock for kids up to 12 years old. There will be food, a petting zoo, and grand prizes. Right now it is 6:56. You are getting another live look in Tupelo tonight. This view is thanks to our MDOT traffic cam looking out towards the mall area. Things are pretty quiet and calm. Thankfully, we dodged a severe weather bullet this week. But Chief Meteorologist Matt Lobhon will join us with one final check of our forecast next.
I've reached that age where I need a headlamp. That's how you, like, I need a headlamp to look at anything. Headlamp. Like an old people, like you have like a strap it on your head and you're practically a miner. Not a miner. Huh? Oh yes, I have. The last 2 years, my mother-in-law's got me one each year, and I can't tell you how excited I was each time. Like, it's the perfect gift for me. I told you, I think I said this before, that, you know, for my birthday last year, the kids, and we're trying to, you know, they were talking to Emily, trying to figure out, you know, what they should get me, and they're like, Mama, we need to get Daddy light bulbs because he loves light so much.